What makes perfect sense, too, is that we like to enjoy a little fantasy every now and then, and that's why we have a guest of fantasy experts, if you will, on panel this morning. We have this gentleman, Corey Flagel, who's the owner of Alliance Alberta LARP. Live action.
Role-playing.
And you are a wizard.
I am.
A specific wizard.
I am, yes. I'm Lord Azkane, head archmage of our lands.
That was my guess. I was going to guess that. Sitting beside you is Caleb Kruger, who's the manager of Capture the Flag, Paintball, and Airsoft. You've established you like paintball more because it goes splatter.
Yeah.
And it's fun either way, isn't it?
Either one's fun. It just comes down to the individual, and yeah, tons of fun.
Good stuff. And speaking of tons of fun, if you want to go somewhere, why not bring this young lady along with you, or at least get some advice from you? Jody Robbins, I bet you're so much fun when you go traveling.
I am a fun traveler.
You take
it's true.
pictures and you just ask questions.
I do. I don't stop talking.
You are a blogger and owner of Travels with Baggage. We challenged you to come up with some fantasy ideas for travel, starting off with, get this, a treehouse. Hanging out in a treehouse?
Yeah.
And you can do it right here in BC.
There's tons in BC, actually. One of the pictures I brought in was from the East Kootenays, and that's out of the woods.
So you can rent these.
You can rent these. And it's affordable. You can get these for sub $200 a night, which I think is great. That looks like a lovely cottage to me.
And who would want to go anywhere else but in there?
I know.
This is
the thing.
A cool
wow.
one.
Yeah, that's in northern Sweden, and that's called tree houses, and
looks
it's
like glass.
Gorgeous. It is. It's a cube. It's all mirrored, so to reflect its surroundings. So trust the Swedes to get that edgy, cool Nordic design and infuse that into the forest.
So you can see out, but they can't see in.
No.
Well, this is a neat little house, Middle Earth kind of house?
Yeah, I mean, that's the ultimate fantasy, I think, if you're into that world.
It looks like Shrek's house.
Yeah, at this place in Woodland Park, New Zealand, they have lots of different interesting accommodations. There's like a boat, there's a train, there's a plane, and they have these little hobbit homes.
Love it.
That sleeps 6, and you're right near Waitomo, which means the area is just like, it's riddled with waterfalls and all these gorgeous paths and cliffs. So you can just go out exploring and, you know, pretend you're an elf or a hobbit, as the case may be.
These guys know exactly what that's all about. Dubai, if you want to spend a few bucks, this looks...
Well, that's my fantasy.
I don't even know how to describe. That looks like a sailing ship, but it's not.
Yeah, it's the world's. It's touted as the world's 7-star hotel.
7 stars.
You can only get there by the helipad on top or by Rolls-Royce from the airport.
So
that's the only way.
You might need to win the lottery to do this.
You might.
The other ones are a little more affordable, but
I think it starts at $1,800 a night.
Stop it.
Pocket change.
You're lucky to get that. And they have a staff to suite ratio of 8 to 1. 8 people for every guest.
So all of your needs are taken
all of your whims.
I wonder it's a 7-star.
Talk about a fantasy.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty swish.
So you've never stayed there?
No, I've never stayed there. I'm a writer.
You got to figure out a blogging deal with them or something.
I do. I need to talk to Tourism Dubai.
Monaco. Let's go to Monaco, shall we?
Well, I think a lot of people have a fantasy of going around to different sporting events. You know, people will follow the Super Bowl or they'll go to the Olympics. I'm not so into that, but if I was pressed to follow a sporting event, it'd be the Formula One circuit. Go
so you
around
would
the
actually
world.
Race one of the cars?
No, I'd watch them. I'd participate in the after party.
That would be awesome to race
Wouldn't
one of those things. Man. Yeah. Or how about going out of the country, if you will?
Sorry, out of the world?
Out of the world.
Out of this world.
Space rocket. What's this one about?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different options for wannabe astronauts. So this is Virgin Galactica, and it's aiming to be the world's first commercial space flights, and they've already chosen a team, and they have a group of people from 10 to 90 years old that they've already selected that will make the first flights. Their aim is just to make the access to space more democratic, because right now the space agencies only let astronauts go into space, or maybe occasionally they'll choose a teacher or somebody else. Yeah, so this is for the average person. You have to apply, but they're still taking applications. So if you're really interested in joining their space academy.
Fly through space?
I mean, they haven't launched yet, but they do all this kind of training, which is, I think, what people are into. So you get to go into these simulated, you know, like aircraft simulation experiences, and maybe you get G-forces, and
And that's where the space camp comes in as well.
Yeah, this is in Huntsville, Alabama. There's an adults space academy. There's also one for children.
This is great.
It's a summer camp.
Isn't there one in Montreal as well?
I don't know that.
I think there's.
Same idea, kind of thing?
Yeah, I think there's one in Montreal.
So it's great for kids and adults who are into that sort of thing, who know they'll probably never become astronauts, but if you have the money and you want the experience, you get to live like they do for a week.
We think of the
That'd be awesome.
traditional ways of holidaying. You know, we go to the traditional places, but why not, eh?
People want experiences
Why not?
more, I
Yeah.
think. You don't just want to see the Eiffel Tower. You want
Well,
to.
you do, but-
You do, but you also want to do the Tour de France and you want to climb up the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah,
Like, it's not
rappel off
enough.
of it, yeah.
It's not enough just to look and take pictures.
Yeah.
People want the experience to soak up the essence of a place.
And I think there's something about putting yourself in somebody else's shoes for a week that's very interesting.
Would you guys be interested in doing something like that?
Oh, absolutely.
Hang out in Dubai? Oh, yeah, look at this, Caleb. He's just shaking his head. Oh, yeah.
Well, I wanna
When
go to
finish
space.
Where do I
this,
sign
he's
up?
out
Go
there.
up, yeah.
Oh, man. Jody, great to have you on here. Blogger and owner of Travels with Baggage. Great ideas if you want. Read her articles. You are amazing. Where's your next stop? Where are you heading off to next?
Oh.
Anywhere adventurous?
Yeah, I'm going to the Banff Springs Hotel next week because
Love
they're
it.
launching a new restaurant, the Chop
Fantastic.
House. Yes,
Good.
so I'm doing that, and then I'm off to Peterborough, Ontario, in June. Yeah, there's tons of parks and lakes around there, so I'll be exploring around Peterborough,
And maybe LARPing.
and the occasional LARPing on my
And
weekends.
shooting a few paintballs. Jody, thanks for being here.